welcome back to Pint Podcast, your favourite football podcast. Right, now this week we are joined by the one Charlie Raglan, Cheltenham Town current player. Let's get straight into that. Thank you very much anyway, Charlie, for coming on. It's massively appreciated. But I think where we'll start is with the tash. Is that for Movember or is that Charlie Raglan style?
No, definitely for November.
Is it?
Yeah, I cheated a bit to be fair because I've been drawing this since the last lockdown. It'll take me a lot longer than a couple of weeks to get this.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. You need to just get a full cowboy get up on with that. Are you going to do the full twist out at the side?
I have been, yeah. Trying to anyway. A few of the lads, they say they can't take me seriously at training and things like that. They just look at me and start laughing. So.
Is it something all of the Cheltenham team are doing, or is it?
A few are, yeah. I drew the line, and again, talking in lockdowns, in the first one when a few of the lads shaved their heads off, shaved their hair off, all the hair. I drew the line at that, so I thought, well, I've got the tash, so I'll just do this.
No, it's class. Have you got a Just Giving page or anything, Charlie? Or
we're trying to get the club to sort something out because there's, not just me. There's probably 4 or 5 of us who have done it. So yeah, once that's, I know it's late and everything, but we'll set that up and then we'll send the details out there.
Yeah, fire it over and we'll get it on our socials as well.
Yeah, nice one.
We'll add it to link in description as well, so other people who watch it can start giving some money as well.
All right, decent.
Try and get it promoted for you.
Yeah, well, I need to get it sorted soon, mid-December soon, so everyone shave them off.
Put it up in New Year for November.
I know.
But no, brilliant. So what was it like for you growing up in Tenerife, playing sort of youth team football out there, and how it was sort of when you moved to Port Vale?
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, Stoke compared to Tenerife is quite a lot different. But no, it was great. It was great to grow up there, and obviously I look at it now and say I was very privileged to get the opportunity, and that's purely luck. My mum and dad wanted to live out there, and my dad had a business, and it just, it took him over there. So football was obviously a massive part of my life, and playing over there was just the norm for me, really. I started playing about 7, 8 years old, and it was just normal. So it was good.
How old were you when you moved over there then, Charlie?
Well, I first went probably like 6 months old, but then we came back. My sister was born, and then my dad sort of just, he lasted a couple of years and thought, what, I've had enough, I'm going back. So I think I did about 1.5 years of school here, primary school, and then I went straight over there. So yeah, from about 6 till sort of 16 really, when I came back to finish school, and that was it.
Yeah.
Was there no chance of you going to like Las Palmas or something like that? I think that's the Tenerife team, isn't it? I might be wrong.
Las Palmas is Tenerife's the main team there, obviously. But we played there sort of like youth teams, through the age groups. The teams that I played for, we always played them. But no, I never really thought that. Really, it was a case of, well, if they don't, they didn't have to come and get me if they want me. But for me, it was a case of my mum she wanted me to come back to England no matter what.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it was a case of, well, I'm going back. I want to play football. So I spent most of my last year of school on trial at different clubs over here. So we were determined, and Port Vale was probably last chance saloon really, and fortunately they gave me an opportunity.
Yeah, amazing. Who was your sort of football icon growing up then? Because it's obviously a lot of people who grow up in England are your Premier League teams. Were you still keeping an eye on Premier League night?
Yeah. We were, obviously I was born in Manchester, and all my family from there, so it was sort of split down the middle, United, City, and growing up sort of late 90s was only going to be United fans. So for me, it was that sort of team, Beckham, Scholes, those sort of players. So yeah, I had a new United kit every year. And then it was only until I got older really that I started looking at, people in my position. But that era of football, anyone really, you just watch the game, wouldn't you? And then you go out and you'd be whoever scored a goal on that day, Henry or someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched all that, and I was always obsessed with it. And obviously Tenerife's very a lot of English people are there. So, you know, all my mates outside of playing actual football were all English anyway. So
Right. Okay.
Could you tell from sort of a young age as well in Spain, like the different style of football out there to when you went to Port Vale? Like, was it quite nice, fancy football in Spain compared to someone giving you knee a good kick in?
Yeah, I think looking back now, I never really thought there was, but it was a case of, you know, the emphasis of when I came over to Vale, it was a case of, well, you know, obviously, yeah, first contact, you've got to win the second ball, and, you know, no one had ever shouted hook to me before. You know, kick it in the channel, something like that. Yeah, it was all new. It was all a case of, yeah, it was all past the feet, and yeah, like you say, it was a bit, because over there they're all AstroTurf pitches, so even the age of like 8, you're playing on a carpet really. So you know, it's not like on a Sunday morning it's lashing with rain. You're used to it as a kid. I wasn't used to it, so I came back, and yeah, just getting used to the conditions and things like that was different. But I got there in the end.
Do you think that maybe gave you more of like a cultured upbringing? Like, did you notice that when you came in compared to other centre halves when you got to England, that you were competing with at sort of youth team level, that type of thing? Did you have a little bit more about you on the deck compared to them?
I wouldn't say it was because of that. If people have that opinion, I wouldn't say it was. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't call myself cultured. But no, the only thing was, like a lot of players, I wanted to be, you know, probably played up front for most of the time that I was in Tenerife, and then gradually it was like, well, I want to be a midfielder, but and I signed for Port Vale as a midfielder. I don't know how, but I did, and luckily there was just a few openings in like the reserves and things like that as a right back, and I just got the opportunity. And then it wasn't really until I was actually a pro, and Mickey Adams at Port Vale just watched a couple of games and just said, "That's it, you're a centre back." So he probably thought, "You're not cultured, so you're going to be a centre back."
No, brilliant. So from there, you did sort of move on to Chesterfield, where me and Josh sort of have grown up from. But Paul Cook sort of quoted saying that you're one for the future for that team. And I think in your first season, was it like 24 games that you made? Might have been a bit more, actually.
Yeah, I think it was around that. I think
what was it like
I had a good run
under Paul Cook?
It was brilliant. I mean, obviously I listened to the last podcast with Tommy Lee, and it sort of brought it back a little bit. And the biggest thing for me was I never really appreciated how good that team was, and how good a time it was for that football club. Obviously I missed the promotion from League Two, but you could just, well, I couldn't really, but going in, it was for me it was just normal. I just thought, well, yeah, it's a good team and unbelievable players, but I just thought, well, this is how it is. But obviously, as Chesterfield have found out as a football club, you know, things like that don't come around that often. And but yeah, for me, for my first proper taste in league football, it was unbelievable. And again, I count myself incredibly fortunate to have been a part of it.
Yeah. What was it like, sort of being a part of the team and that got to the highest at Chesterfield from sort of my sort of time on earth, I should say, being as good as they were?
Yeah, well, that was it. Again, I just never really realised it was a case of, well, for me, it was, you know, I was just desperate. I got a 1-year contract, and yeah, I did. You know, when I first joined, you still had Liam Cooper there, so there was quite a few people in front of me. I hadn't played a game. You know, I was 21, so I was a decent age. I'd played non-league games, so I sort of toughened up a bit. I thought, you know, I'm more ready now, you know, for the opportunity, and thankfully it came. Although after my first sort of league start, I thought not only my Chesterfield career, but my whole career would have been over the way I played and the reaction I got off Paul Cook. So either I did well or he did well to stick with me. But I got a decent run in the team, yeah, and obviously we did so well and came so close to something that would have been really, really special with getting promoted.
Did Cook have that in his locker then? You say that he gave you a bit of a bollocking after your first game. He had that then? Because he can't tell it. It seems like such, how do you say, like massively amiable chap. You can imagine him just as like the fifth person on this podcast being full of banter, can't you? So
Yeah.
it's just interesting to get that perspective, really.
Oh yeah, he could lose it. But like, yeah, he'd be bright red, just effing and blinding and spit just coming everywhere. And that game in particular was my first start in the league, because I come on as a sub for, ironically, at Port Vale, and that was my first league game ever for Chesterfield. We won 2-1, and I'd done pretty well. I played like an hour. Sam Hurd got injured.
Yeah.
And he had quite a bad injury, so that sort of gave me a little bit of time to get in. And then we played Doncaster away, which is a great ground, and all the Chesterfield fans get that one end behind the goal. And I just started torrid. It was like I had two left feet. I didn't know where I was meant to be, and I was all over the place. And Cookie let me know at half time in no uncertain terms that I needed to liven up. So I thought, well, I'll come out second half. I think it was Nathan Tyson, he's at Chesterfield now, isn't he?
He is.
He's double quick anyway, and he's got it in the channel, and I'm sort of closing down. I've slowed down. I thought, right, he's getting it. So I just wiped him out, but I got booked straight away. And Paul Cook's on the side, and he's kneeling down on one knee, and he's sort of like, he's almost punching his head. He's that, his own head. He's that annoyed with me. And I just was like, oh, what have I done here? So then it carried on at full time, and I thought, I'm done. But luckily, somehow I played another 20 games that season. So,
do you think that was just almost like a making of you in a way? Like, you need, sometimes you think of stuff like that in like any occupation, not just football. You almost need a bit of a, not a disciplinary, if you will, but just someone to actually say, look, that's not enough. I want this out of you. You can do this better. You need to be doing this. Did that almost make you more aware of the level you were now playing at and what you needed?
Yeah, I think it definitely made me realise that this is the level now, and I'm up against some proper decent players who've had good careers, and we were a team expected to do something. It wasn't just you can't just walk into this team. I was, like you say, I was almost replacing Liam Cooper and Sam Hurd, who were unbelievable. So the biggest thing was he could have easily, I think. He might not. He might have always planned to do it, but he could have easily just gone, he's not ready. That's it. He's done.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest fear after coming out of that. But he stuck by me, and I think he did believe in me. That was the biggest thing I got from him. I always did that sense of belief, even though he lost the plot on that day, which he was quite right to. But in general, he definitely believed in me, and he was great for me. And I just wish I got the opportunity to work with him longer, but. And for the whole team to stay together longer, but that's just the way it went.
Yeah, we've just been speaking about Paul Cook actually before you came on, Charlie. 'Cause obviously, Derby have sacked Philip Cocu. Nick's a Derby fan. We were saying we think he'd be a pretty perfect fit for that, a bigger club for him to get his teeth into. I still really rate him from what he did at Chesterfield, and I don't think he's done a bad job anywhere he's been.
No,
I think he's ready.
He played for Derby as well, didn't he?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure.
He played for Burnley.
I might be way off with that, but I've got a feeling he did. But no, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, he's ever since Chesterfield going to Portsmouth and Wigan, he's done great, and he's definitely up there with the best managers that I've had, and in every way really, every way you would judge a manager, he's got everything you need.
Yeah. It does look like someone who's going to give a bit of fight to the squad that's probably lacking. So it'd be nice to. I'd love to have him. I said to you, didn't I, Josh? Up people that they've lined up, saying, I know, Luke, you've had a look at odds and said that Rafa Benitez is way off, but out of like Eddie Howe and other people that we've been linked with, I think Paul Cook would be absolute class.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for a job of that stature as well. So he'll definitely be keen. Obviously, he was heavily backed for Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't he? So.
Yeah.
No, I think any club that get him will be lucky to have him.
So something that Tommy Lee actually said on the podcast, where in that season where you got to the playoff semi-final in League One, it was literally when the season turned was when Ian Doyle left to Cardiff, weren't it?
Yeah.
Do you share the sort of same opinion as Tommy, where if you had got another striker in, you'd have, like another 10, 15 goal striker, you'd have probably gone on and maybe have got promoted to the Championship?
Well, yeah. I mean, That's it. The big that you do forget that he scored something like 26 goals before he left, which was in the January transfer window. So it was amazing, and I think we did have a little dip just after that, because I always remember the manager saying, almost questioning us or challenging us, saying, did we rely, as a group of players, did we rely on him that much? And he almost challenged us to say, he's gone now, we're going to have to get on with it, and that's it. But yeah, we probably couldn't quite get over the line and challenge the ones above us. I think we finished sixth or in the bottom of the playoffs, so we might have been able to get into the automatic places and things like that, but I don't know, it's easy to say. I think that was probably part of the problem, like Tommy said, that he felt like he wasn't backed, and that was probably part of the reason why he ended up leaving.
Yeah, I think there were Daniel Johnson as well, weren't there? I can remember. I don't know how true it is, but at the time, Daniel Johnson were on loan, and I think there were rumours that there was a deal agreed to make that permanent, and for whatever reason, that didn't happen. And ironically, you were playing against you for Preston.
That's it. That's what makes it worse. But yeah, that's it. I mean, you look at those players, and they all came to Chesterfield probably because of the manager, and that was the quality. That was the type of player that we were getting in, and it was. I mean, again, I look back and I never really think, oh well, it's what a disappointment. I just thought, well, we'll just have another go. We'll just go again, and we'll just do this. And whether it's the club or even myself, I've never finished that high again in the sort of pyramid. So these things don't come around all the time, and when you get the opportunity, you just hope that the club and everybody's on the same page, if you like, and you make the most of it. And maybe we didn't, but then the club will say, well, they made sort of whatever it was, quite a lot of money, a few £1 million out of Owen Doyle going, and then that success led to a few more going.
Yeah.
So this is something that we asked Steve Guinan actually, but you've played for a couple of different teams now, Charlie. Is there ever initiation that you get up and you have to do a song, or is there a go-to song for you when you're doing that? Obviously, I've done that everywhere I've been, an initiation. But it's got better as I got older. Definitely, I've come out my shell a bit more. I remember being on a pre-season tour when I was like 17, going away with Port Vale, and just a team of men, and I was scared stiff, and it was mine was crap. So. Recently I think my last one, Cheltenham, I went safe, but I belted it out. Oasis, Live Forever, so stick to my roots. I see.
You see some good ones though. The best I've seen that springs to mind was Jamie Mackey at Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
He sort of encouraged a few people to go before him. He sort of said, "You don't want to follow me." And then we
backing himself.
Yeah, well, to be fair, then we saw why, and I think he stripped fully naked, singing. What was it now? Summer of '69, maybe.
Really?
It seems like he's got good banter, Jamie Mackey. I've seen him a few times on. What did he do on TikTok? It's that, like mid-lockdown. Do you remember it went viral? Kind of dance or something. I forgot now.
Yeah, with his daughter. Yeah, he is brilliant. He's brilliant. One of the best I've been in a dressing room with. Yeah.
Amazing. Class. So now you're with your current team, Cheltenham, who are doing really well in League Two, actually, aren't they? How do you fancy their chances this season?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, there's a lot of noise this year around us because we did well last year, and I think historically the club is a bottom half League Two team, and we've spoken about that. Obviously, the manager played for the club and has got his sort of ties to the area. So he openly says that this club is historically a bottom half League Two team, and we sort of changed that last year. We had a great opportunity last year and threw it away ourselves. So, but fortunately, we have unlike that time at Chesterfield. I'm not comparing the teams, but we have kept the nucleus of the team, and we're actually disappointed that we've not got more points than we have right now. So we've just got to hope that we can. We've got a break this week of midweek games, which is sort of welcome. So a bit of time to recover, and then we've got a tough run coming up, just leading to Christmas. So that time will probably tell us where we're gonna end up.
I think that's a great mentality to have, though. Like you say, you're disappointed and you sat, I think, is it fourth or fifth?
I think we're third now, but that's because of other teams not playing as many games.
Right, and you just beat Carlisle this weekend, who I think they're certainly close to you in the league. So have that sort of mentality that it's not enough and you've got to keep going. It's
it's just, I think it's just the manner of some of the defeats. We've lost 4 games out of whatever it's been, 11 and 12, and last year we only lost 6 all season. So we built that reputation on. Obviously, good for me because the defence got a lot of talk. But yeah, we've conceded some sloppy goals, and maybe that is a result of us actually being now seen as a good team. Whereas before it was like, oh well, Cheltenham will roll them over, and then we just surprised them. But now it's like they're a good team in this league, so we've got to be at it. And a few teams see us as a scalp, so it's a compliment. But we're not too worried about it, and yeah, we're trying not to mention the P word, and just crack on.
Can I just ask about
last year? Then Charlie, you went. Sorry.
No, I butted in, mate. Go.
So you won the first leg playoffs last year, 2-0. You scored, and then you didn't get promoted. Well, that lost by a bit, but yeah.
Then it just ended.
So how did the team respond? What was the mood like in the sub two? I bet it was difficult to come back, obviously, from lockdown straight into playoffs, having not played properly for a few months as well.
Yeah, well, it was the lead up to it as well. People were talking about because there was that PPG thing, or whatever the rules. At one stage, it was like, well, we could actually go to third here and just get promoted. So we were a bit like, is that going to happen? Or everyone had loads of questions, and obviously the whole country was unsure about what was happening. So we were just no different in that sense. But once we knew we were coming back, and it's typical the manager, he just said, listen, we're back. I don't want any excuses. And if you asked us after the first game, or you'd have seen it, we'd been like, well, yeah, these lads are just getting on with it and they're ready. And after the first leg, it was like, well, it's nailed on. But these things happen, and we just didn't turn up and had no excuses for the second leg. And I think leading into this season, it was a case of all this, again, a bit of noise, or they're going to have a hangover, and like plenty of teams do, and we had loads of examples that we could have gone to, but that was our main focus, that we don't want to be that team that just has one good season and then drift away. And so we're trying to just maybe the expectations more this season, but we're trying to live up to that, and that's what we'll carry on doing.
I just wanted to ask about Michael Duff, a player very close to my heart. 350 maybe games for Burnley, something like that. Yeah, unbelievable signing for us. Cost us 30 grand and was crucial in in 3 promotions to the Premier League. Yeah. So, as a player, he were outstanding.
He doesn't mention it much.
Does he not? I bet he does. As a player, I mean, he was absolutely superb for us, obviously. I think he brought on a lot of the players you see now who've left Burnley and played for England. Michael Keane, Tarky, who's probably going to leave shortly, sadly.
Yeah.
He knitted, and Ben Mee as well. I just wonder what that's like for you, because obviously he's in your position. Has he pushed you on a level, do you think, with that experience and that know-how?
Yeah, without a doubt. I was thinking before I come on, obviously I thought, one of the questions could be like, what's the best manager you've ever had? And I'm thinking, well, Paul Cook is right up there. He was always the one that I thought he gave me the opportunity and everything. And probably say Michael Appleton's another who I really sort of looked at and thought, yeah, he's a really good manager. But obviously I've had a good time under Michael Duff, and playing for Cheltenham has been really good for me personally. And we've got a decent side now and things like that. But even if I got dropped tomorrow, or obviously Saturday or whatever, I'd still say he's pushed me on the most. In terms of like one-to-one development, actual coaching. He's made me 10 times the player that I was. So I can't really thank him enough for that.
Yeah, it seems that I've only met him once. We actually had the first promotion to Premier League we had was 2008-2009 when Owen Coyle was manager, and we did a there was a dinner basically. They had the squad back. Even the manager who left in very acrimonious circumstances, he even turned up. Duffo couldn't come because he was involved in the playoffs at the time with Cheltenham, obviously. So, but he did a video link message to that were played, and he just comes across like such an articulate, intelligent bloke as well. Like as a fan, you don't really know what a player's kind of mentality is, how they are, whether they could go into coaching. You could just see it from him. I imagine he's quite a sort of inspirational speaker, is he as well?
Yeah, I mean, our biggest comparison as players, we always say, if you listen to, I mean, it's clear, obvious why, but if you listen to Sean Dyche, a lot of the things he says is a lot of things that Jet says to us. And I think Burnley's success has been built on their mentality more than anything, and it is that underdog mentality. And Cheltenham as a football club is a bit like that, like you said. He's told us the club historically finishes in a certain place, and we sort of rose to that challenge, and he's always trying to instill that in us, really. Although the style of play, I must say, is a lot different. He says about how it's no slight, but I think I wasn't here for his first couple of months, and I think it was definitely 4-4-2 and a bit like the Burnley way, but for some reason they fell upon 3-5-2 and it's gone from there. But no, the mentality side of it, and he's big on that sort of stuff. So yeah, I suppose listening to Sean Dyche is the closest comparison. But just on the promotion, the first one, we've actually got Wade Elliott now, who's
hero,
first team coach. Yeah, so he's been with us for the last couple of months, and comes in, every match day and a couple of days a week to help with certain coaching and analysis and things like that. So he's been good to work with as well.
Yeah, I made an absolute fool of myself when I met Wade. I think I were about 6 pints deep, and I did do the "I'm not worthy" at him for about 40 seconds. He'll never be forgotten. For 14th minute at Wembley, May 25th, 2009.
Yeah, that's not been mentioned either.
I just wanted to touch on, Charlie, take it back a few years. You said you grew up on the red side of Manchester. You had to pick a side, and you chose rightly. And then you obviously, in the non-league, you went to play for FC United of Manchester. What was that like? So I've been to a couple of their games when they've played like Matlock and your local. Yeah. The atmosphere and things that they take for the non-league, it's absolutely unreal. Like all singing United songs and everything like that. Because they are just obviously United fans, aren't they? Or historically.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I just I got the opportunity to go to. They do a thing every year. Obviously, they wouldn't have done it this year, but every other year they've gone to a foreign country. So that the year I went, it was Germany, and I went the following year to Switzerland. But they go to like another club that's got the same sort of values. So fans have got ownership of part of the club and things like that. And yeah, I got a phone call and just said like we'd love you to come. So I was playing for Nantwich Town at the time, which was probably an hour away from where I lived in South Manchester. And then FC was like, yeah, come along to a training session. So I literally did one training session, and they said, we're going to Germany next week for 4 days, come with us. So I was like, yeah, fine, no problem. And literally we took about 7,000 fans with us or something. It was unbelievable. Like, I've got videos still on my phone still. And we finished the game, and it's like playing a European away second leg or something, the flares are off. And that was in Germany anyway, but say you come back to Manchester, and it was like every game when the average in that league, you go to Matlock and you get probably 250, maybe, if you're lucky. Yeah. We would have average 3,500, 4,000 every week. Wow. And for me, as mad as this sounds, it was like, because I was 19 then, and I was like, this is my chance. 19, I was like, this is my chance to just play regularly. I didn't really think too far ahead, but I just thought, as mad as it sounds, this is as close I'll probably get to playing for Man United. So in my head, it was like every time I went out, I could hear the songs that I knew off by heart anyway. So I was just thinking, yeah, I'll play for United here. Yeah. I was just like, I'll go out and do my best Nemanja Vidic's impression and hope for the best. and it worked.
Well, that's class. And just to flip that to where we are now, obviously, no atmosphere. What's that like playing in?
Well, yeah, it's absolute total opposite of playing for FC United, and but yeah, it's difficult. The scary thing is now we're just getting used to it, which is sad, really. I think it played it didn't play a part, but it was strange. Maybe when in the first leg of the playoffs, for example, it didn't really matter what happened. We were just on it that night, and everything went well. The second leg, you're thinking, I wonder if the fans might have helped us, even to get on us, like get on our backs, tell us we're crap. Who knows? But yeah, at the minute it's sad. It's not great. It's the other problem is I can't get away from the manager shouting and bawling. At least I used to be able to just give it that one and say, act like you can't hear the instructions or the caning that you're getting. But yeah, now you can hear every word. So swings and roundabouts.
Hopefully fans are back soon. We certainly want to get back in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. So one last question before we sort of go on to the quiz. What do you make of Chesterfield currently? Obviously, being there in the situation they're in now, 19th in the National League. What do you sort of make of how they were when you was playing to where they are now?
Well, yeah, it is a massive fall from grace, isn't it? Really, I mean, everything was so optimistic when that first year. I mean, it did change pretty quickly once Paul Cook had left, and that second year, you just sensed things were changing. I mean, Dean Saunders came in, tried his best, but it was obviously clear now. However many managers later on, that it's not the manager or even the players' fault. Really, it's if they're not good enough, then they're not good enough, and they shouldn't be put in that position. And again, because the fans are going to quite rightly be used to, they went from promotions from League Two, won the league, good season League One, and two, not great, relegated again. It's just like the club's the heart's been ripped out of it. So it's difficult to comment on what's actually happened. I don't know the ins and outs. All I can say is from when I was there, you just see it slowly happening, and things not how they were and how they should be. So I really hope that they get back to some sort of success, if you can call it. Just getting out of that league, which will not be easy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm thinking of the players. There's only really like Lawrence Maguire. I think he's still there. Who was there when I was there. So it's all changed really. I've not been back since I left. So I'd love to go back one day. So hopefully that's at in a higher position than they are now.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliantly put, to be fair, because I think once they lost the spine of the team and they started to lose players sort of more regularly on a season, I think who did they lose? It was like Deriqua, Jimmy Ryan, Sam Morsey, all left, didn't they? And I think the spine just went.
Like Josh said, even Johnson, they had him on loan. I think he went to Preston for 50 grand, and now he's being linked with like £4 million moves to Rangers, isn't he? So you're a club size of Chesterfield, you lose probably best part of £15 million worth of player. If we combine them all.
But a lot of clubs do that. I mean, you're right, but a lot of clubs do sell the best players at that level, and I'm not saying you can replace the likes of Morsey and Deriqua and Klukas, or Doyle, but you can still sort of replicate something. You can still keep some sort of continuity, if I can get it out. And that's what they didn't have. They never, each manager came in, they wanted a different idea. They'll just overhaul the squad, and it was like, well, that's not worked, so we'll do it again. That's not worked now, so we're gonna have to do it again. And it's just, there was no consistency to it at all, and didn't seem like there was a real plan. Again, it's difficult. I can't comment. I'm just speaking as an outsider, as a fan, now. So it's sad though.
I think what you've just said there, it's almost like what we've said before, isn't it, boys, about United. on a totally different level. How the squad is like 5 managers worth of squad, 5 managers worth of, you've got leftovers from Ferguson still with Jones.
Yeah.
And Smalling, he's gone. But my point, you know what I mean? It's the similar thing, isn't it? If you don't have that vision, this is where we're going to be in 3 years, back your manager and stick to that.
Yeah.
You are, and just yearn for success year on year and change it. You're going to end up not getting anywhere unless you're absolutely shit up with recruitment in year 1. So,
I think that's recruitment's massive, yeah. Because that was another thing Chesterfield did, and I was thinking about him earlier. Paul Cook was obviously huge and the main part of the success that Chesterfield had in that period, but there was another man, Paul Mitchell, who, after Paul Cook left, and he was still there, and then after Dean Saunders left, but then he was sort of dismissed, and he was massive. He brought in, the only reason I was there really is because he went to watch Ollie Banks and brought him in. And then, because Paul Cook wouldn't know who I was. It was Paul Mitchell who was going out watching games, and he brought in Sam Clucas, myself, Ollie. There's 3 who did quite well. So that proves the point in terms of recruitment. Just consistency. That the manager can change, but the plan, like you said about United and things like that, is the plan and the project, whatever you want to call it, has got to show some sort of consistency.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
All right, we'll move on to your quiz, Josh. I think Charlie will like the name of this one.
Yeah, well, you watch Tommy's podcast, so you'll know that he got 5 out of 5. So it's not my quiz; it's Tommy Lee's Pro 5 quiz.
He owns the naming rights.
He does. He does owe us a Christmas due as well. That part of T's and C's. So we'll see when he comes. He might let the naming rights if he doesn't send a few crates through. But we'll go straight off. We'll go number 1. You made your Football League debut for Chesterfield under Paul Cook, as we've discussed, on August 30th, 2014. You've spoke about the game already. Who was it against?
Port Vale.
Correct. As you say, early substitute, 29th minute for Sam Hurd.
Yeah. I was nervous.
I can imagine.
So nervous.
Did that play a part in your performance then? Your nerves?
I don't know. Maybe. I went on and just tried to be as calm as I could. And it was a funny story because at the end, obviously Mickey Adams was still the manager of Port Vale at the time. And a few of the players at Port Vale, I never played a league game, but they're still there, legends of Port Vale, like Tom Pope.
Yeah.
You've all heard of him.
Yeah.
So, big lad. And I remember going on and winning my first few headers. And supposedly, well, he must have done, but apparently Mickey Adams, who was the one who released me from Vale, never fell out with him, but that was it, the time was right, and he got rid of me. And supposedly he's on the sideline shouting, Popey, come on, it's only Charlie Raglan. So all the lads at the Chesterfield bench are laughing their heads off, but then they told me after, because Mickey Adams come straight up to me and was sort of all over me a little bit, like, oh, great to see you doing so well and all this, and then I found out that he'd said that on the side.
What a prick.
But anyway, we won the game, so I had a laugh laugh.
Brilliant. Right, number 2. Since that league debut in 2014, you've scored 7 goals, and in all but one of those matches, your team's gone on to win the game. So you're somewhat of a lucky charm. Can you name the one opponent you've scored against but went on to lose?
It's just come to me now. Chesterfield rivals, Mansfield.
Correct. 4-2 defeat.
Yeah.
You equalised as well, I think, 2-2.
Yeah, it's always a bad one when I score. Obviously, it's a rare occasion, so I'm running off like couldn't believe it, like over the moon, and then we go and lose. So it's just like, what a tit. Anyway.
Right. In your league career, you've won 6 different shirt numbers across your 4 clubs. Can you name the numbers?
All 6.
Yeah.
Tommy
said it was too easy, so I needed to make it more difficult.
Yeah,
that's more difficult.
I'm just trying to think. I should. It's 16.
Yeah, at Chesterfield.
Then 25.
At Oxford, yeah.
22.
Yeah, at Oxford again.
4.
Yeah, at Port Vale.
5.
Yeah, at Cheltenham. One more.
And then the other one when I first went, and I think it was 24.
Correct. Full house. Yeah, 24.
Effort there.
Yeah, I was panicking that one. But,
What's your number? What's your go-to number if you could pick one?
I think 5. I think I always wanted to be number 5, but wasn't ever good enough for the other clubs. So I remember coming when I signed permanently for Cheltenham. Michael Duff rang me and just said, "There's what do you want? There's number 6 and number 5. Number 6, like bit of a ball player. Number 5's a meathead, so I'll give you number 5." I just said, "All right, fair enough."
Duffo were number 4 at Burnley, so I don't know what that makes him. A bit of both.
Yeah.
Rio were number 5. He went bad for a meathead, were he? Rio.
Who was that?
Rio Ferdinand, he were number 5.
Yeah, that was it. He was probably my go-to as in terms of a defensive hero. So if I can get close to Rio, then
not done bad.
Yeah.
Right, number 4. You've received 1 red card in your league career so far. Against who?
Swindon Town.
Correct. Playing for Chesterfield, 1-0 defeat. I think it was quite late on, weren't it?
Yeah, it was soft. It was two bookings, and it was one of them where, you know, when they knock it round you and you just stand there and they run into you. And it was like 2 of those. I mean, the lad, I think he's playing for Leighton Orient now, a lad called James Brophy, left-footed, jinky winger, and I was playing right back, and he just did that twice. He just knocked it and then ran into me, and I got booked twice, sent off, and Danny Wilson went mad, and we were in a bit of a relegation fight, and I think that put me out of the next. Then there was the next league game, and there was only 2 games left, and we had to win one of them,
right,
to stay up. And luckily, the lads won the next game. Probably because I wasn't playing. They won the next game, and nothing. It didn't come back to haunt me in that sense.
Oh, good. Did he go mad at you then, or mad at the decision?
No, he went mad at me.
Did he?
And that's what I was a bit annoyed about. I was like, well, I can't really do much else. I've not done loads wrong. I've not gone in and I've not punched anyone, or I've not 2-footed somebody. I've not been. It was just. I probably should have done better, but I still thought it was soft.
Yeah.
Although we've not yet had a player though, when we've asked the question about a red card, who's actually said, "Oh yeah,
it was spot on."
Every single one. Ref will bang out. It all well thought.
Should have given me 2 red cards.
Even Tommy said that, didn't he? About his red cards.
Yeah, but his was Shevchenko getting him sent off. Mine was lad from Leighton Orient.
Right, question 5 on the Tommy Lee Pro 5 quiz. You've played under 10 managers so far in your career, including caretakers. Can you name 5 of them? Not all 10.
5 managers.
Yeah.
Paul Cook.
Yeah.
Dean Saunders.
Yeah.
Danny Wilson.
3.
Michael Appleton.
4.
Michael Duff.
5. 5 out of 5.
What? And there was another 5?
Huh?
And there's another 5?
There was, yeah. So I'll do all.
Oh, Oxford, there's a couple.
Dean Thomas, Paul Cook, Dean Saunders, Mark Smith, Danny Wilson, Michael Appleton, Neil Aspin, Derek.
Exactly.
We'll go with Derek.
Derek.
Michael Duff.
Bellboy.
You played under Pep Clotet, but never played a game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was injured for his time.
The second most famous Pep in the world. So I'm lively.
Yeah.
But that's it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, mate.
So one thing that we do like to finish off on, Charlie, if that's all right, is running through the fixtures for our teams and getting your score prediction. So you've got chances to match Tommy, if not better him. So I think Tommy got the Man United Everton score right, weren't he? I think he predicted 3-1.
Did.
So that got him 5 points, and he's on 10 points actually on our scoreboard.
Which is more than me, and I've been doing it for 8 weeks.
Yeah, but so if it's all right, I'll run through our teams, and if you can give us your score prediction.
Go on then.
So when this one will be coming out, it'll be Wycombe versus Derby.
Oof. At Wycombe.
At Wycombe.
Yeah. Derby, need a reaction. Tough place to go. 1-0 Derby.
1-0 Derby. We need to be winning that one as well.
That's what I mean. Rooney sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Him and Liam Rossini.
Yeah.
Might be Paul Cook by the time this goes out.
It might be, fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'll be 5-0.
Yeah.
So, next one, Southampton versus Man United.
Oh. You know, we were talking about this, a few of the lads in the dressing room. We were saying, like, United looking at Southampton and thinking, thank God Danny Ings is out.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be happening, should it?
No.
But, I think, I'd go United 2-1.
2-1.
You do seem better away.
Yeah.
The last one we've got is Man City versus Burnley.
Ooh.
Luke's squinting.
One's at single digits.
Yeah. The gaffer won't be happy, but I'll go City 3-0.
Oh, he would be happy. I'd be delighted with that.
Well, yeah, all right then. Walking off like that.
No, that's absolutely class, Charlie. One thing I will ask you, though, and I think we asked Tommy as well, are you happy with Ollie, or would you sack him and bring someone else in?
Brutal, Nick.
It's something John's talked about.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think he should be doing better than he is at this stage. I think he should be getting more out of the team. I mean, I know Arsenal then lost the next game, but I remember watching that game and thinking, like the pundits on the night, they said Arsenal have got more of a. You can see they've got a plan and a way of playing in possession, out of possession. United were a bit all over the place, really. So, difficult. Obviously, the man who's in the news, Pochettino, he's obviously everyone. Whilst he's available, there's always going to be rumours that Solskjaer will go. So I don't know. I don't think he can afford to lose many more games, really, especially like Southampton. And I mean Everton was a massive result. So what was the question?
So would you keep him or would you opt for a different manager?
Keep him for now. Then reassess in the new year. But they've got to be getting closer to the top four, but that seems miles away at the minute. So I'll sit on the fence and say keep him for now.
It's one of those though, isn't it, where obviously every United fan we've asked that question to, he's a legend, you've got to give him time, and we've said ourselves about stability, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. But like you say, Poch is there.
Yeah.
He won't always be there. And when he's taken a job elsewhere, it then really becomes a question of who the fuck is there? I can't even think of anyone else. I really can't.
Yeah. But I remember at the time when they appointed him permanently, it was a case of, there was loads of people saying, just go and get Pochettino now. He would have gone. Yeah. But they, like you say, they went for Solskjaer, so they've got to stick with him. They can't just say, well, there's someone now available who's better. You can't go through life doing that because you get nowhere. So I hope United get back to winning leagues and being what they were. It pains me to watch it because obviously I grew up at a time when it was, again, like I've said before, in football, it's normal watching Keane, Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, Van Nistelrooy, Rooney, Ronaldo. It was just like every week I just watched that. They were my heroes. So now, my girlfriend's dad's got 2 season tickets. He goes when you can, goes every week, and it's like it's weird going and comparing the teams. It's sort of like, it's not what it was, but that's just the way it goes, I suppose.
It is. It's. I think every United fan, well, I can't speak for everyone, but feel the same way. Everyone wants Ollie to succeed because he does. I mean, we went from Mourinho, who couldn't give 2 shits about the club, but you can tell Ollie cares. He wants to do well. But you just need that consistency. He can't keep living on loving club, because I love club and I'd be a terrible manager.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's too hard for him in that sense.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Charlie. The first current footballer that we've had on this podcast, and I know how busy you are, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck to Cheltenham for the season.
Nice one. Cheers.
What a top lad, Charlie Raglan. What a class act.
And what a moustache as well. If you do want to donate, we'll put the link in the description. And we've all donated. So do your bit, help it out, because it's a great cause.
Make sure you comment down below, guys, that you've done it as well. Right, let's get into this week's score predictions. First, we'll go over last week's and Derby County versus Bristol City. Bristol City won 1-0. Luke, you had 1-0 Derby.
Yeah, you. I don't know what to say. You're in dire straits and need a manager quickly.
Absolute Kieran Dyer. Josh, you had, I believe you had 0-0. No, 1-1.
Yeah, I think we all thought when Cocker had gone, you'd turn a bit of a corner, do all right. And I mean, Bristol are a decent team. I don't think that's your bad result, but then following it up 3-0 loss away at Borough, it's not good. You don't score goals, and that's quite a problem. You concede quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
Your match this weekend is a massive one.
Yeah. I actually had us to lose 1-0 and got 5 points from that. I think I said it on the podcast as well last week. We won't turn it around until we get a new manager. Big chance this weekend against Wickham. See what happens. But I did watch the Bristol City game and we played well. We played really well. And then I watched the one against Middlesbrough and we played absolutely shit. So
I think you've got to win this weekend.
I think we've got to win this weekend and next Tuesday because it's Wickham and then Coventry. So I think they're your chances to go on a run. But I know Rooney's come out and said he's taking himself out of the side this Saturday, which is absolute, praise the Lord, is dog shit anyway. It'll be beneficial to some other lads actually who will put in some graft. So we'll see. Right, let's move on because it's depressing me. Burnley versus Crystal Palace. Josh, you had 0-0.
Yeah. Again, I didn't think there'd be many goals. I thought Burnley I don't think their defence would suit Palace's attack, and I think that turned out to be right. But Burnley got that goal. Could have had a few more. Wood had a good chance in the second half. Goodmanson did. Very big win for him. They needed it.
Luke, absolute on the money, 1-0.
Told you, Ben Mee. Makes all the difference. He's been back 4 games, as Ben Mee. 3 clean sheets, and then we got battered 3-0 by Chelsea, but that's Chelsea. 3 clean sheets, 5 points. That's what he does. That's what he brings to us. Yeah. We'll be fine then. No, genuinely. Yeah. Absolutely genuinely. Any team that isn't a member of the top 6, we will get points off them going forward. Because even if we don't win, we're just boring as fuck and we'll get a draw. But more importantly, we're on the cusp, potentially today, if not, definitely by Monday, of being owned by Yankee Doodles. So bring on the January window when we sign in.
Mbappe.
Fuck.
Get Ben out. Get fucking Cannavaro in.
I'll take whatever I can. But it'll just be nice in January to actually be approaching that and with optimism. We need an entire new right-hand side, get a brand new right back in, get a winger because we can't trust Brady and Goodmanson's fitness. We need to just splash the cash. Spend 40 million on that entire right-hand side.
Yeah. I had 1-1. I had actually a separate bet where Chris would score first and Burnley to win. So I don't even know why I went for a draw on here. That just makes no sense. So we'll move on to Man United. Luke, you had 4-0 Man United versus West Brom and it finished 1-0 United.
Yeah, I mean, they did what they needed to do, but it's not right good, is it? Really. Don't mean to be harsh against West Brom, but, they are going to get relegated without sounding brutal about it. I think even a West Brom fan would acknowledge that they can't score goals and they're conceding plenty. I mean, I know they scored 3 against Chelsea, which kind of goes against my point, but apart from that, I think they've been pretty useless, haven't they, apart from that game? So, yeah, it's just United struggling, really, still.
Josh, you had 3-0?
Yeah, I thought we'd do well. It was a strange game because we did deserve to win, but I don't know, it almost felt like because we'd not won at home, like there were a lot of pressure or something, and they really seemed to struggle with that.
There were a lot of sloppy passes though, weren't they? Especially first half.
Yeah. But as the game went on, it seemed to get sloppier and sloppier. It was strange, and we just sort of let West Brom look better than they are. I think they should have been put to sword and out of sight. The penalty was, I mean, United's was a penalty. He stuck his arm out. I don't know why people are going mad about that, but I think West Brom's was as well. I can't believe that overturned after he'd given the penalty. I didn't see anything to indicate that he'd made wrong decisions. So strange, but you take it, don't you? And they're moaning about him being off his line as well, but he was miles off his line when he saved Sam Johnson. He was off his line for the second one as well. I think that's a good thing about Bruno's penalty technique. Even if keeper saves it, chances are because he does that silly little jump.
That should be banned though, shouldn't it?
No.
I think it's ridiculous.
I think you're ridiculous.
I mean, they stopped it, didn't they, when they used to do that literally like pause for a second and then hit it?
Yeah.
You can still do that, I think. I think you can still do that. It's just that you have to be continuously moving, I think it is.
Yeah.
You can't go...
No.
You have to go and then hit it type thing. That's why like Bruno and Jorginho does similar. They're moving the entire time. They just do a little...
Yeah.
It's like the penalties though, because I play in net, so I understand the frustration. The keepers are getting it made more difficult. You have to stay on the line. You have to do this. And it's getting easier for people taking the penalties. Why can't there be a rule where inside of the 6-yard box, the keeper can come and stand? I mean, if attackers are allowed to do all sorts of shit, why can't a keeper, it be a bit made easier to try and save the penalty?
That's ridiculous.
Well, the penalty taking's ridiculous, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think they're allowed to take at least 1 or 2 steps off the line.
I think they'll start standing behind line. That's what
they might as well just give them a goal if they get fouled in 18-yard box.
Yeah.
That's the frustration.
It certainly favours attackers now, but they're not going to change it, I don't think.
But the bottom line is a penalty should be easier to score than to be saved, because by default, 7 times out of 10 when a penalty's been given, they've been denied what would most likely have been a goal. So it should be harder for a goalkeeper to save it.
And wasn't it hard enough already even before they brought it that they have to stay on the line?
Well, that's always been the rule, hasn't it? They're just enforcing it.
Yeah.
It's always been the rule that they stay on line.
But
Just got to not move. Don't fall for the fucking trot. How hard is it? If you know what he's going to do, just wait.
Yeah.
Not just this. Which is what they're doing, you know. You know what they're going to do. They're meant to watch them.
But it is hard. It's something needs to be done. I think it just needs to be a bit more even on it. But that takes our scores anyway. I've moved from 33 to 40. Josh has gone from 8 to 10. Well done, Josh. You're on double digits, and Luke from 15 to 22. Now this weekend's fixtures. Josh, we'll start with you. Derby versus Wycombe.
Derby absolutely have to win this game. I think Wycombe have scored. I'm checking earlier.
More goals than Derby still.
Yeah, I think they've scored 6 and Derby have scored 5.
We've scored 5. Jesus, that's impressive.
I'm going to go Derby 1-0 because you have to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Derby. Luke?
I've kept saying you're going to win and you've kept losing, so I'm going to say 1-0 Wycombe.
I appreciate that. Right, Man City versus Burnley. Luke?
4-0. Nick Pope's injured and we don't even care about that game. It's just some kickabout. Just get on to real stuff.
Put kids out, yeah? Right, Man City 2-0, same as at the Derby fixture. Josh?
Yeah, similar. I think it'd be 3-0 City. They need to bounce back, don't they? And I don't think Burnley will put up much of a fight.
I think the best game this weekend then, Southampton Man United, Josh. What do you think?
I was torn between 2-1 and 2-2 because Southampton will attack and cause United problems, but I think United will let them on break as well. I'll go 2-1 United. Come on, Ollie's at the wheel.
I'm actually going to copy you there. I've got 2-1 in my head, Man United. And you're really shit at predicting, so I should really change it, but I'm going to stick with 2-1 United. Luke?
Is this at St Mary's?
Yeah.
At St Mary's, yeah.
2-0 Southampton.
Oh, ballsy. Danny Ings. Oh, no, is he injured?
I think so.
1-0 Southampton.
Jay Adams been leading line, hasn't he? So
0-0.
Oh, I like Jay Adams.
I think Southampton will win. I do, and I think that could be end of Solskjaer if that does happen. We'll see.
So what's your final prediction? Because there was like four.
1-0 Southampton.
1-0. Right, join us next week when we're joined by Mark O'Brien, who has a very special story. So stay tuned for that one. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Pie and a pint. 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 Pie and a